Alright, so let's look at the dots. The dots on the guitar. These are the dots. Don't let the double dot fool you, because the double dot's the same as putting a dot in the middle. It falls on this bass note. Okay, so you can look at it this way, that the dot on the third, whatever fret this is, 0, 1, 2, 3. If this is fret 0, this is fret 3. The dot on fret 3 falls on the G. Now everybody knows that that's a G. For gosh sakes, play a G chord. Where's your root? This capo is not being good. So here's your G note. So the key of C, that's the 5th. So that's, that first dot, you would know that's your G. That's the 5th in the key of C. And, similar, you go up from there. The A would be the 6th. The B would be the 7th. The C sharp dot, which is up here, is irrelevant. That it's a C sharp dot. Remember, so if you're going to memorize anything, remember the notes that the dots are on. You can consider, E, if the fret nut, a dot, because you're going to have one on octave. So you have one on G, one on A, one on B, one on C sharp, and one on E. And look at them as the bottom or the top string notes. That's what the dots are. Don't look at the dot as it's going to be G or C up here. Oh, that dot's right on the 3rd string. That's on a G right there. Well, that's interesting, because if it is exactly on that note, but it isn't, I happen to know these dots aren't exactly on the note. So that you can't say that that's B because it's an octave there. So just look at the dots as what is the bottom string of each dot, or the top. Now so we've got in C, we've got the E dot, G dot, so it's the 3rd, the 5th, the 6th, and the B dot is the 7th. So you look for the B dot, play that lower note, and you can go ahead and play what you want, as far as you could do an E shape there, 7 root 2. You could do one of the patterns to get an S4L. You can get all right. You know where that B is. You know that's going to be your Locrian there. That's going to be your B. So your B half diminished. It'll be. You know what I'm saying? Or you could just do a minor arpeggio going to the left. That's its 7th. It's really kind of raining hard out there. So it's just noise competition. So let's look at the key of. So that's the key of C. It should be pretty easy. The octave dot is the 3rd in the key of C. This is in the key of C. We decided we're going to play in the key of C. What if we decide we want to play in the key of F? Your band member, your buddy, whatever, or you just decide, or the song you're looking at says the key of F, it's got 1 flat in it. That flat's on the B flat. That makes it the key of F. How are you going to use the dots to find those notes? Well, let's look over to the key of F. I've got it right here. Right here, the key of F, except it doesn't want to be good. And it was the last one down. So I'm going to redraw it up here. Here's our key of F, right there. Okay, everything else is, we'll mask out everything else so it doesn't get in the way. Okay, but what is important is, all right, see that? It keeps on giving me more and more to take out of it. what is important is that we have what we're looking at here. So we're going to be playing the key of F. Which dots, remember, what are the dots? G, A, B, C sharp, and E, right? G, A, B, C sharp, and E. G, A, B, C sharp, and E. There's 5 dots. G, A, B, C sharp, and E. No, they're not the 5 caged key of cage. They're not the 5 keys of cage. They're where the 5 dots are. Now, by the way, when you look at this E dot and you look at the C sharp, that is the relative 6th. That's the relative 6th of this E. So that's kind of flavoring this E right here as a G shape there for the key of E. But we're looking at the key of F. So let's look at the dot notes. E, G, A. This weather is just like getting louder and louder, but there's no thunder in it. You know? No thunder. Yeah, it don't look good for some of these southern states down there. Yeah, we've all got some rain, but where I'm at, there doesn't look like there's any thunderstorms, but wind could be a problem. Okay, back to the lesson. So we've got the key of F up here, and what are the notes? What are the dot notes that are in the key of F? E, G, and A. But what are those scale degrees? It says it right here. This is just as well as the other E dot. This is the E dot. This is the true double dot. This is the real deal double dot here. Okay, up here on the octave here. It says right there, in the key of F, E is the 7th. E becomes the 7th of root, which is the F right there. But we don't have a dot on root. We have a dot on the 7th. We have a dot on the 6th. I don't know why. No, we don't have a dot on that 6th, but I think we have a dot on. Okay, we have a dot on the 2nd. So G is the 2nd of F. We have a dot on the A. A is the 3rd of F, right? And that's it. Just 3. We have a dot on the 7th, the 2nd, and the 3rd. So we use that information, if you're in the key of F, to go off of the G. We can do a D shape there. We can do a D shape there. So we play something in F. And then we go starting from the G, so it'd be the G dot. That's our G. We could do a D shape there, because the G is 2, and the G shape, the D string shape starts on 2. So we're going to do a D pentatonic from that point. Okay, now I'll show you something else, and this is part of the lesson. I know I'm giving the other chart lip service, because we should be on the other chart by now. Not by now, but for this topic, and that is, that worked with pentatonic, right? But if you want to do the diatonic, you definitely want to play the E diatonic. Why? Okay, this is where it gets a little tricky. This looks like we're up here in the E shape, but in the situation that we're playing, we've put the fret nut there. That makes the root an F, because E would be the 7th, and we'd play the E pentatonic as root.